gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Robert Sports Show. I'm your host, Robert. Alright, the 2019 NASCAR Hall of Fame class. NASCAR Hall of Fame induction ceremony will be on February 1st, 2018. This is the 10th class to be inducted into the NASCAR Hall of Fame. It is a shame that NASCAR didn't start their Hall of Fame years earlier. There is a ton of drivers, owners, crew chiefs, race personnel who should be in the Hall of Fame or well deserved to be in the Hall of Fame. Here we are with the 10th class. We have 5 owners and drivers who are all deserving this Hall of Fame, but there's still dozens of people out there who meant a lot to the sport who have yet to be able to get into the Hall of Fame. But as each year goes on, we're able to get those drivers and owners and crew members and people into the Hall of Fame. The 5 inductees in 2019, I have a little profile about each and every one of those 5. The first one is the late Alan Kulwicki. The late Alan Kulwicki was the 1986 NASCAR Winston Cup Series Rookie of the Year. He was the 1992 Winston Cup champion. As we all remember that if you look back now, it's a very memorable race. That 92 Atlanta Journal 500 had so many things going on. We had 5 drivers running for a championship. We had the King, Richard Petty's final race. We had the Prince, Jeff Gordon's first Cup Series race. We had strategy. Alan Kulwicki had to lead more laps, but he wasn't able to win the race because he had tore the transmission out, the low gear out of the transmission. So his pit stops were longer. So you had that strategy. You had Bill Elliott, Junior Johnson, one of the biggest 4 teams in racing at the time. And the single car, owner driver Alan Kulwicki, the underdog, is the underbird as the car was named. All these storylines in that fateful race where Alan Kulwicki was able to win the championship. Bill Elliott and the monster and the Budweiser Junior Johnson Ford won the race but finished second in the standings. Jeff Gordon started his wonderful NASCAR career. Richard Petty went up in flames and was able to finish the race. Alan Kulwicki, as we all know, was killed in a plane crash April 1st, 1993. 6 months after winning the championship. What could have been? In his NASCAR career, he raced in 213 races. He had 5 wins. He had 40 top 10s, 40 top 5s, 78 top 10s, 25 poles. What could have happened if Alan Kulwicki would have not perished in that airplane crash? What could have been? We can do that with a lot of drivers who were taken at such a young age. Alan was... How old was Mr. Kulwicki? He was 38 years old when he passed away. His NASCAR career was from 1984 through 1993. Now, as I've done the Champion Profile series here on Robert Sports Show, I have a more in-depth profile of Alan Kulwicki already on Robert Sports Show. If you go to the main page on YouTube, go down to the folder that says NASCAR Champions Profiles, and you'll be able to find all the Champions Profile series that have already been posted on YouTube. I'll have every champion profile up between now and Daytona. All the Cup Series, Xfinity Series, and Truck Series, all 75 champion profiles will be up before Daytona. There's a more in-depth look at Alan Kulwicki if you want to go there. Next, we have car owner Jack Roush. Jack Roush started racing in the Cup Series in 1988. He started racing in the Xfinity Series in 1993. A short little tenure in the Truck Series as a truck owner, 95 through 2009. His very first race in NASCAR was the 1988 Daytona 500 with Mark Martin, the number 6 Stroll Light Ford Thunderbird. Number 6, Mark started 38th, finished 41st. Mark got his first pole for Jack Roush in the Delaware 500 in 1988, where he finished 39th, but he started from the pole. The first win came the following year, 1989, the AC Delco 500 at Rockingham. Martin started 7th and won the race. As a car owner, Jack Roush has had 2 Cup Series championships, 5 Xfinity Series championships, and 1 Truck Series championship. The Cup Series came back-to-back, 03-04, Matt Kenseth, Kurt Busch. The Xfinity Series championships came in 02 with Greg Biffle, 07 with Carl Edwards, back-to-back 2011-2012 with Ricky Stenhouse Jr., and then as recent as 2015 with Chris Buescher. His Truck Series championship came in 2000 with Greg Biffle. He has had 11 drivers win Rookie of the Year while driving his cars. Ricky Stenhouse, 2010 Xfinity Series and 2013 Cup Series. Greg Biffle, 1998 Truck Series Rookie of the Year, 2001 Xfinity Series. Carl Edwards, 2003 Truck Series, 2005 Xfinity Series. And recently, David Reagan, 2007 Xfinity Series. Truck Series, we've had Kurt Busch in 2000, Todd Clever in 2005, Eric Darnell in 2006, and Colin Braun in 2008. Those are all the Rookies of the Year that Jack Roush has had. In NASCAR's top 3 series, Jack Roush's cars, in the Cup Series, 3,593 starts, 137 wins, 751 top 5s, 1,356 top 10s. 37% of the time since 1988, a Jack Roush car has finished in the top 10. As for the Xfinity Series, 1,698 races, 137 wins, 501 top 5s, 863 top 10s. 51% of the time in the Xfinity Series, a Jack Roush car has finished in the top 10. As for the Truck Series, 712 starts, 50 wins, 204 top 5s, 360 top 10s, and equal 51% of the time a Jack Roush truck finished in the top 10. Davey Allison, another member of the 2019 Hall of Fame class. His short racing career began in 1980, unfortunately ended in 1993, and then helicopter crash at Talladega International Speedway with family friend Red Farmer, who survived the crash. Davey Allison, the son of Bobby Allison, the original member of the Alabama Gang. Davey started his first NASCAR race in the K&N Pro Series West in Phoenix, starting in 11th and finishing 29th. His first pole came in the Xfinity Series Sand Hills 200, where he finished 2nd. His first win came in the 1987 Winston 500, where he finished 3rd. This is the Winston 500 that his dad, Bobby, flew through the air, taking out half the guardrail, unfortunately injuring some fans. And that's before restrictor plates. That was the super speedway race before we had restrictor plates. Bobby came back to win the 1988 Daytona 500 with Davey finishing 2nd. Also in that race, Bill Elliott set the NASCAR record of 212 mile an hour qualifying in that Winston 500 in 1987. Davey's last win came in the Pontiac Excitement 400 from Richmond in 1993, where he finished at 14th. His final start before his tragic death was the Slick 5500 in Loudon. He started 7th, he finished 3rd. In his short career in the Cup Series, he had 191 races, 19 wins, 66 top 5s, 92 top 10s, 14 poles. He finished 3rd in points in 91 and in 92. He was the 1987 Cup Series Rookie of the Year. He won the Winston All-Star Race, 91 and 92. In 1988, he finished second in the Great American Race, Daytona 500, to his poppy, Davey Allison. And in 1992, Davey was able to win the Daytona 500. In the Xfinity Series, he raced in 86 times, 15 top 5s, 31 top 10s, 2 poles. He raced in 5 K&N races and 5 NASCAR Southwest Series races with 1 top 10. Davey Allison, 2019 Hall of Famer. Next, we have Roger Penske. Roger Penske, one of the great owners in NASCAR. 81-year-old Roger Penske. He started NASCAR racing in 1972, and in 1980 he closed the doors and concentrated more on Formula One and IndyCar. In 1991 he decided to go back to NASCAR. He started the Xfinity team in 1997. And his first start in NASCAR was in 1972 with driver Mark Donohue at Riverside. Finished starting third, Mark Donohue, and finished 37th. His first NASCAR win came the following year at Riverside in 1973 with Indy standout Mark Donohue, where he started fourth and he won the race. The first pole for Penske Motorsports also came in 1974 at Riverside with George Fulmer starting 33rd after winning the pole. He has 3 NASCAR championships. The 2010 Xfinity Series champion Brad Keselowski. The 2012 Cup Series champion Brad Keselowski. And then the 2018 Cup Series champion Joey Logano. Overall, all of Roger Penske's race teams have won 500 races. In NASCAR, in the Cup Series, he has 2,044 starts. His teams have won 114 times, 522 top 5s, 877 top 10s, 127 poles. In the Xfinity Series, 556 starts, 68 wins, 257 top 5s, 381 top 10s, 66 poles. 10 starts in the Truck Series, 1 top 5, 3 top 10. Roger Penske. Next and finally we have 4-time NASCAR champion Jeff Gordon. Currently Jeff Gordon is 47 years old. Jeff Gordon started racing USAC midgets in 1989. He was the USAC Rookie of the Year. In 1990 he was the USAC midget champion. In 1991 he started his NASCAR career in 1990. In 91, he was the USAC Silver Champion. He was also the NASCAR Xfinity Series Rookie of the Year. He raced 2 years in the Xfinity Series. 73 starts, 5 wins, 21 top 5s, 32 top 10s. And then in 1992, he made his NASCAR Cup Series debut at the Atlanta Journal 500. Alan Quickie won the title, Richard Petty's last race. He raced every year from 1993 through... What year did he retire? 2014, I believe it was, he retired. I didn't write that down. Normally I do write that stuff down. And he ended up coming back to race a few races in 15 for Dale Earnhardt, which actually delayed him making the Hall of Fame by a year because he had starts that year. He was the 1993 NASCAR Cup Series Rookie of the Year. He was a 4-time champion. He won the title, was it 95, 97, 98, and 2001. He was a 3-time Daytona 500 champion, 97, 99, 05. He won the Crown Jewel Brickyard 500 5 times, 94, 98, and 01, 04, and 14. His very first win came at the Coca-Cola 600 in 1994, which he won 2 more times, 97 and 98. The Brickyard win in 94 was the first ever NASCAR race at the Brickyard. He is a 3-time All-Star race winner, 95, 97, and 01. He's a 6-time NASCAR Southern 500 champion, 95, 96, 97, 98, 02, 07. 797 consecutive races Jeff Gordon raced in. He finished up with 805 races, 93 wins, 325 top 5s, 477 top 10s, 81 poles. Only twice in his NASCAR career did he not finish in the top 10 in points. That wraps up the 2019 NASCAR Hall of Fame class profile. As always, thank you for watching the Robert Sports Show, and stay tuned to Robert Sports Show as we continue the Champions Profile series on our countdown to Daytona 2019. As always, thanks for watching the Robert Sports Show. Don't just have a great day, have a spiffy day. Robert Sports Show, your YouTube leader in sports channel content.